Hey everybody, Amika Westerfield, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here. Today is Wednesday, June 17th, 2020, and before I go teach dance, I am going to show you a project using Way to Goat. So this is a featured card set. This is an awesome stamp set. Happy birthday. It says, happy birthday, you old goat. You're the GOAT, greatest of all time. I got you cake, but I ate it, and Way to Goat. It's got a tin can, 3 fun goats, and this little spot here, which is great to use like in gray for a shadow underneath your project. All right, so this is watercolors using our new watercolor pens. These are awesome. For my watercolor fans, you guys want to jump on board. It's got 3 different tip sizes, including a fabulous one that is perfect for backgrounds, a wide one, which I think we were really needing. One quick tip, I thought I was just a dodo head and couldn't get them open because I learned righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, but these actually open vice versa. So I want to turn it to the right to open it, but you really want to turn it to the left to take the top off to fill the reservoir, and then you turn it to the right to tighten it, which is backwards from what I know, but that's all good. They've got these little caps with it and these little clips, so that's not that you're going to carry them around on your pocket. So I started stamping some of these, but I saved one more to do. And I'm going to be doing, these cards are going to be sold at my, on Saturday between 8 and 1 at Goki's Produce and Fluorescent. For doing watercolor effects, you want to use the Stays On pad. The Memento is for the Stampin' Blends, which are an alcohol-based marker. And anything you do with water, you want to make sure that you use Stays On. So write ink for the job. So I ink up the stamp, and you can tell that this block isn't big enough for the stamp. I obviously have a block that's big enough, but I was too lazy to get it. So I put it on diagonally, and you're going to stamp straight down and straight up. Now, usually I would use my stamp apparatus in case I would miss anything, so I missed a little bit of the horn there. But today I'm just going to do it like this, and I'm going to show you a little quick cheat to fix it. I'm taking one of our many marvelous markers. Love these markers. These are our water-based markers, and I'm just lightly drawing over the line where I missed. So that's a little cheat that you can do if you're not wanting to. This is all you have is a block, but I do recommend the stamp apparatus because it's a great stamp positioning tool. All right, so I have my goats all stamped. On this one, I want to show you something. If you press too hard on the watercolor paper, it might shudder a little bit. Do you see that like little off shadow, which is probably okay for this card, honestly, but if you want it nice and tight and neat, you don't want to do that. So this is one of my favorite and easiest watercoloring techniques. So if you're just getting started, or if you've been doing this for a long time, but you want more of the products, then this is a great technique for you. We are going to start by using the gray marker. I'm going to try to do this with all markers to show you how it goes. So this is the basic gray, and then I'm also pulling out this, do I want smoky slate? I guess I'll take smoky slate. All these choices. Okay, I'll take the smoky slate. Oh, and this one. What's this one? Oh, that's basic black. I don't want basic black. All right, so we're going to do these 2 colors right here to start. All right, so I want my goat to be a little bit on the gray side. So I'm using my clear block and I'm making sure there's no adhesive on it. Since these are water-based markers, you can color directly on the block and then just wipe it off with water later. Now, another way that you could do this is by taking our stamp pad and squishing them together to draw a little bit of ink in the top. These are my new pads, so they're not broken in at all. As far as this technique goes. Okay, so see how it has that? And then you would pick that color up from the stamp pad to color with, but that's the wrong color. Now I'm going to try out my new fabulous markers. I do not want to use jumbo marker, or jumbo one. I think I'm going to start with, do I want small or medium? Okay, I'm going to do the small one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I haven't used these yet, so you want, the first time you use it, you've got to kind of prime the bristles. So I always have a paper towel or napkin handy to blot anything that I overrun. I'm going to pick up some of the darker gray and also some of the lighter gray and mix it together. When I color, I do not squeeze. So I like to first go over the lines that are on the image that are already stamped. And I don't necessarily go all the way around the outside, but just kind of in a little bit. And then I'm going to go add a little bit more color. And you can make this as as light or dark as you want. If you want to lighten it up, you can add just a little bit more squeeze of the water or blot it off with your pen. By pen, I actually meant paper towel, but you know, that was silly. All right. So, and if I end up not liking the colors, I might go with all browns. But this guy I'm going to try in gray. So he's a new little trial here. And I think that I'm going to do the ear in gray, and I made it just a little bit darker. Cool thing about watercoloring, it is okay if the markers bleed over a little bit or the paint, because it gives you like you're painting with watercolors, right? We also have watercolor pencils. If you want a little bit more control, you could go over and color in with a watercolor pencil and then go back over it with these watercolor. I don't think they're called aqua painters. That's what they used to be called. I'll have to figure out what the name is. But they're in the catalog and they're fabulous. 3-pack, and I'll look them up here in a hot second. I just want to finish coloring my goat. All right, I want to make the tail a little bit darker. And then on the little goat face, I don't want it so dark. So what I'm going to do here is I want to go a little bit more with just the lighter gray, which is the smoky slate. I'm going to pick it up. And I'm going to go, let's see, play around over here in case it's still too dark. There we go. I'm going to color his little face gray. And I might come back in and do like a little pink for a little cheek. You know, make them all blushing. Now, here's my little goat. See how this is all light through there? I want to make some more dark now. So I'm going to take my basic gray, and I'm taking the brush tip coloring on my clear block, lifting that up. And then I'm going to make some parts of him a little bit darker, just a little bit more pronounced, so there's variance in the shades of gray that's on this guy. He's kind of cute. The goat, the phrases just cracked me up. I was saying on my other video, as a kiddo, we had a drain field, and in the summer my dad hated mowing it, you know, because we get rain and it would just be like horrible, full of weeds and tall, and there was a hill and rocks. So he borrowed a goat from a friend of his and had it back there, and the goat kept the grass back. It ate every last blade of it, and goats literally eat anything and everything. So it having a tin can in this, I think, is perfect, because I tell you what, that goat ate all of it. Now the little tuft on top of his head, I might leave that color. Isn't he cute? Now I'm going to do, I'm going to wipe that off, and I'm going to flip this over. I actually want to do a little bit of more like the crumb cake, or the gray granite. This is the gray granite. So this is, let me try this. This might be a good match for his little horns. All right, so I'm going to pick up, and in between colors, you want to wipe it on your napkin so that you don't bleed. Oh yeah, this is perfect. It's still kind of in the same family, but not as intense. I love it. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do the little tuft of hair on top in that color and fill in here just a little bit more. So there's my little goatee. Isn't he cute? Now, I want to do a little bit of pink on his cheeks. So I think I'm going to go white, kind of like this. This petal pink is kind of more of a blushy pink, opposed to like a baby doll pink. All right, so lift that up. And I think right about there would be cute. Oh, isn't that cute? You know what? I like that so much, I'm going to go over the tuft of hair and make it a little bit peachy, just to give a little bit more color. So there's my little goat. I still have to color his flower, which he's of course eating because he's a goat. And I want to do a pop of color, so I'm actually going to use the new in color, one of our new in colors. In colors are good for 2 years. This one is Magenta Madness, and it's a vibrant pink. Again, wipe it off in between use. And I'm just going to dab a little pink here. Oh, that's cute. Now I want that darker than it is, so I'm just going to go back over it. Now you don't want the watercolor paper sopping wet, but you definitely can go over it a couple times, opposes like our Whisper white cardstock or a thinner cardstock that's not designed to absorb water. On those you could probably do one coat, like one swoop. So on the little guy's chinny chin chin, I feel like we need to color that in. I missed that part. So I'm going to just lift this up. Oh, make sure there's no bright pink on it. And give him just a dab of color right there. So there is our little goat. Now, we have this here, which is going to add some color to the bottom, and I'm actually going to do this in the blue, I believe, and I might stamp it up. Ooh, no, that blue's pretty. All right, so this guy here, I'm just going to stamp underneath the little goat, and it just gives like a little shadow of where he's standing, kind of fun and simple. Now, if I were wanting to, let's say that I wanted, I'm going to maybe mess this up a little bit. Do you see how I dipped the tip of this into the color that picked up in the lid? So I could go over here and actually spread this out a little bit more if I wanted to, just to make it a little bit more watercolor looking, right? And if I wanted to color the whole goat in blue, I could also do that. So that's how you do that. If I wanted, on this card here, what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp, I think this one here, because it looks kind of fabulous. I'm going to say you, do I want to say wait to goat? And then I'm on the outside, and then on the inside, actually I'm on the outside, I'm going to do you're the goat, or the G-O-A-T, because I think that'd be fun. So I'm going to clean off my block so I don't make a hot mess on my stamps. And I'm going to take this stamp and always when you do the stamps, always make sure that you, when the first time you use the stamps, make sure you ink them up and stamp straight down, because sometimes there's like residue from the factory. So you want to make sure that it's a nice clean image. I could do it in pink, but I'm going to stick with this whole blue theme down here. I'm going to turn it this way. Now, let's say I mess up on this and it's crooked, which it could be. It is. Then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually stamp this on a different piece of cardstock and punch it out and mount it to it. Now, the solution to this would have been to use my Stamparatus, because then it would have lined everything up properly, but I did not, and that's okay. And then all I'm going to do with this card is I'm going to attach it to a gray base. And you could add ribbon or something to it to doll it up, but I'm just kind of going more of a simple effect. I am not going to adhere it just yet because I'm not finished playing around with it. So that you'll just double mat it, and then you will want to maybe put a piece of white cardstock in the middle of the stamp, which is what I'm going to do. In the inside of this, it's going to say way to goat. So there's watercoloring using markers. Enjoy. Have a great day.